People are indeed tuning in to our favorite game show. My favorite thing is to remind people that Hearthstone is fucking ugly, you know? No, not my 1 hour long videos are ugly, those are fine. You watch as much as you want, just like you watch as much stream as you want. There's always an event, it's crazy. It's too fucking much, dude. There's always an event now. You're constantly being told to do something. Imagine, like, this is not easy. But the moment they set it up, it's like, well, we can just have it forever. It's almost like better than having twist format, it seems. Well, I mean, I'll keep that in mind. Play cards. Wow, playing cards gets you paid, my friends. For one time only, guys. I want to talk about class identity. And no, it's not going to be boring because we're going to literally redesign the classes entirely. Alright? First of all, power creep is not where the fun is at. Power creep only means that the game is a lot more difficult to balance. The existence of power creep just shows that you run out of ideas and bigger number better. Right now we literally have Shred Warlock, which is not regarded as a broken deck, just as a normal deck with 4 mana 7/7 with lifesteal for some reason. And he has the magical synergies that you have some kind of fucking shred of time. Okay. In your deck. Wow, crazy. So, it's ugly in like every single imaginable way. Hearthstone is just fucking ugly. It needs a synergy to become 7/7, but when it is a 7/7, it's just broken. You know? Like, what? But that's what it takes. That's right, it's just stats, don't worry about it. You have answer to stats. You can always just play poisonous, right? Because there's so many poisonous minions nowadays. It's weird. It's a little weird. But this is like how Blizzard has to now start sneaking in bad game design because power creep exists. So they have to try and keep up with their own power creep. You know? Try to keep up with your own stupidity is the actual translation. I'm not here to complain. Yes, I am here to complain. I will just take over the 3rd generation of card games. I'll take over 3rd generation of Minecraft. I have integrity. I'll be fine. Right? There's a game open, by the way, on my desktop right now. But you didn't notice that. Because I have too much integrity. I could have had Pokia on another window open, basically. You can imagine 2026 is going to be pretty crazy for me. I'm still working on rendering engine, meaning that technically the 3rd generation Minecraft is more of a like unappealing financially and just overwhelming type of thing, because if you invent something new, the last thing you need to do is basically sell it, right? I invented this, I polish it, obviously, and then we're gonna get to selling this thing. Alright, this is, if you look closely, there's technically a lot of polygons going on, isn't it? And it's like, how the fuck is that possible? Well, it is. It is possible. Not only that, I can spawn those polygons instantly. I can randomize it. Like, apply any shader on the texture itself, which happens to, like, look like this. Just basic-ass textures. And these are just literally tests. Test dummies. And I only have, like, grass and dirt. And it's like, yep, still looks fucking amazing. I don't know. Like, I'm actually lazy, considering everything. Like, I need workers who are, like, not lazy. Who can actually, like, do work. At least as much as I do, right? If you're interested to boost my integrity, please hire yourselves and make money out of me. That's how it works. You make money out of other people, out of other businesses. That's how you make money. You use the business to make money for yourself. Crazy, I know. Never been done before. Sometimes you just flip other people's assets and you make money that way. That's always a possibility. Until government finds you and says that it's illegal for no fucking reason. But they haven't found you yet. Anyways, just like I can copy and paste this into my game, and until Blizzard says cease and desist, I don't give a fuck. You know? Stop copying and pasting my fucking art. I would say I AI generated my art. Your problem is with AI now, bitch. You know, your problem is with AI. All my art is AI generated. They just happen to look like Hearthstone cards. That's right. That's right. What you gonna do about it now? I mean, the fact that AI generation is possible, I can actually fill the art and the sound stuff. What I can't do is win game jam. Because I have to make my own sound and my own art. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? No. No way, Jose. I'll just be who I am, to be honest. Like a raw version, just like you see on YouTube. I'm supposed to be a raw version of whatever I am. I'm not supposed to have filler content that takes extra time for me to do. That's what kind of makes me lazy, but not really. Anyways, so let's start by talking about these class identities. And we're probably not gonna start with Demon Hunter and Death Knight, because they're probably just amalgamations, knowing that they have two words in their fucking name. What is that about? You have to have one. This whole fucking time, the naming convention was one name. This should have been good enough. Right? Just call it the fucking Mancer or something. Or Monster. I don't care. Just something stupid. There's so many fucking words. You know, you can definitely have a knight. A knight. It doesn't have to be dead. You know, Death Knight could be one of the subtypes of knight. But, what the fuck is this, right? It just makes things complicated for no reason. And that's usually what makes card games ugly, but, yeah. For now, I'm starting with this, that this is the ugly design. You have to play an ugly card to activate an ugly card that has an ugly fucking keyword, basically. Right? And has an ugly amount of power, which happens to be raw stats anyways. So it's ugly in general because it's not even interesting. And this dragon tag does nothing. So, I mean, like, you can't make a card more ugly than this. You just can't. I don't think there's a fucking way to do it. It's a trope 4 mana 7/7, but it's a fucking ugly meme instead. Basically, that no one even fucking mentions, basically. No one fucking talks about just, like, raw stats. No one even talks about this deck in the first place. Because it's sort of like, well, it doesn't have good win rates, right? You either have a good opener, or you don't have a good opener. And that's it. That's what makes the deck unpopular in the first place. If it was popular, people would talk about this bullshit. But right now, it doesn't matter. But that's why Blizzard has to nerf cards all the time, because popular decks are always the most toxic, that hide the actual toxicity of the game. We don't know how toxic this is, but we know that there's something even more toxic than that, right? It happens to be Shaman currently, but just like it keeps changing every expansion because there's just broken cards all over the place. And it breaks the game. And it's like a hot potato of who gets to break the game. Anyways, so let's start from the back instead. These are going to be our final things to talk about. For me, armor in general is just a broken mechanic. We have started nerfing armor cards. Maybe armor should be just like fire damage. Alright. Cut it in half. Every single turn you lose half of your armor. You know, you lower your shield eventually because you want to attack with your sword. You can't always be protected. Right? You can't just always build defenses in the middle of the fucking battle in the first place. It's weird. And let's be honest, there are identity cards and these things have to get fucking nerfed. I've already said how to nerf the brawl. Just like let 3 creatures fight each other. We don't actually have that. We might have had it with some legendary cards, but even like it's not that toxic. Just let 3 creatures fight each other. Alright, set up 3 fights. The moment you set up the 3rd fight, they start fucking bumping into each other. And that's cool. That actually fucking serves the name once and for all. You know, the brawl ascends to like what its actual form. The game is constantly improving itself, but we're still using old school effects that are broken. You know, that cannot be balanced, unfortunately. And you definitely make Brawl that much more powerful. Then it becomes a tempo card, unfortunately. 3 battles means that you probably will clear your opponent's board and not yours. Alright? And isn't that better? Most of the time, massive board clears are just kind of bad if you try to do anything at all besides defensive strategies. But this is actually just bad card design. I wouldn't have any of this shit. You know, it's fucking insane. Unless there's a reason to destroy your own minions. Right? So warrior would be like the death rattle class. If you want to do massive board clears, you have to be the death rattle class. You cannot have strong minions from the very beginning doing things, basically. Is that the case? Not really. I mean, this could be a strong minion. No one plays that. Because losing it just loses you the game. This, unfortunately, is a 5-5 for no reason. I actually have to say this before I continue. If people love my content, because again, I still have this criticism in my mind. If people love my content, there's just more content. It's not like, oh shit, it should have been 10 minutes. No, people who like my content just see more content, and they're just that much more happy. Alright? I'm not a fucking robot that's gonna dispense you 10-minute videos. It's not happening. Alright? I haven't been trained to do so. And I probably would refuse simply because money is not my incentive in the first place. Like, I will have millions of dollars. What's that about? And you didn't give me millions of dollars previously, I just got hit by it, basically. I'll be fucking pissed. All the way, all the time. So warrior identity should be death rattles. Should be boom bots. That's kind of cool. You know, all kinds of bombs, all kinds of explosives. That's some cool shit, right? Fireworks. You can imagine just the possibilities. Instead of making fireworks out of just one bullshit minion. That's just awful. Where is it now? Testing dummy. It's bullshit, man. You can keep your weapons, all this stuff, but we fundamentally nerfing the armor, and we fundamentally nerfing every minion in existence. And most importantly, late game. Warrior's about late game. But late game looks like crap. Just more stats. That's what late game looks like. Oh, big stats. Oh, big stats with board glare on top. Wow. This one just strong as it is. It's a 5-mana 6/6. It's just strong. It's big stats with fucking blast on his fucking forehead. We can't play fun cards, you know? Fun cards are completely unplayable. Imagine that. Imagine how cool that is. When you see it. You know, like, I would just want to redo the ugliness of Hearthstone with you just because there's so much. You can think about it forever. Yeah, there's a bomb identity and I can understand that. But you still have to design it properly. Like, if we had bomb identity for so long, why isn't there a way for bombs to travel upwards? You know? Because that's the biggest complaint of, like, the bombs just bury themselves deep in the deck. You don't actually get them out. You can even force draw, like, spells and stuff. You basically have bombs and fireworks and all this crazy shit, and then you force it to happen, and then you shield yourself while it's happening on the board. Like, you can even do, like, self-damaging stuff, basically, because, like, big explosions. That's what a warrior can do, right? Now, it wouldn't sound like a warrior, sound like a fucking miner or something. Miner Bran. But it's a good starting point, I would say. It's just a very, very nice starting point of what the identity could be. Then you have Enrage versions, which again is not being played. It's gone forever. Maybe some kind of fatigue version on the other side. Have you played this card? Like, let's be honest, did you play this without discovering this card? Hmm? That's how ugly the game is. I mean, honestly, look at this ugly-ass face. That's just the ugliness of the game. That's what it is. That's how it works. Alright? They didn't try to be like, summon 5 2-drops for, like, a reasonable amount of mana. No, just fill your boards. I mean, like, summon 5 2-drops would probably cost, like, 7 mana and would actually be playable. But let's just make the card unplayable instead. Right? So, this class's most ugliest card is gonna be this. Alright, dwarves? Dwarves want to explode things, alright? They're miners. I mean, it would be nice if, like, warrior had, like, exclusive excavate identity as well, right? I mean, this is very close contender to the ugliest card because it also reminds you that just, they don't care. Like, do you remember that 10 mana cards are not playable? Is everything okay? Like, in the first place, just because 10 mana exists, like, you can have 10 mana cards, but you can't even, like, click to select them. Like, you will have 10 mana in the game, right? Does that mean you have to print 10 mana cards? Is that normal? That's potentially where they just fucked it up. Like, maybe not. Maybe 10 mana cards should not even exist. So let's just double check what exists. I mean, fucking ugly ass card, of course, exists. I mean, we just made ultra ugly cards. That's just kind of like what Hearthstone devs want to do. Just print ugly ass cards that happen to be 10 mana. This is ugly cards just because it got nerfed. This is ugly card because I would love to play this one, but apparently it's 10 mana, you know? And, whatever the fuck that is, it's ugly because, again, some of these, like, are rejects, basically. They go to 10 mana because they're rejected from the fucking game. And that's it. There's not a lot, but they're still there. You know, there's still remnants of, basically, degeneracy in the game. And you still need to just click one button and see all the unplayable cards, basically. In order. In alphabetical order, basically. Unless it says cost less, so then it's not actually 9 mana. It's not actually 8 mana. When it says cost less. It's unplayable because it looks like it's 8 mana, you know? It's one of those relationship things. That's 7 mana is borderline playable. As unplayable as you can get without it being completely irrelevant to the game. right? I would even play shit like this, alright? I feel like this might be the best healing card in the game, by the way. Like, who the fuck knows? It looks like it. I get holy spells, that's crazy. That sounds like a good amount of healing, and I never played this card because it's 7 mana. But now I'm starting to reconsider because it is 7 mana. I should be testing stuff like this. You know, maybe it helps me survive. Maybe it's the 7 mana card for at least to be activated. We don't know, so I'll actually test this in the video if I have extra time. I don't have extra time because the game is so fucking ugly, it's insane. So what should be the Warlock's actual identity? And of course, if these things are not implemented, I will implement in my own game. I will have no mistakes made that Hearthstone did. That's what makes it next generation. But I must not make my own unique mistakes where I'm uniquely making ugly experience or just like buggy experiments. I have to keep up with the quality of the game as well. Wow, look at that. It's 10 mana cards. Isn't that beautiful? 10 mana cards that Zeddy touched every 10 mana card because it does go that way. That's where you find all the ugly ones. I feel like this is just ugly by definition of ugly, but maybe it's too easy. This is ugly because I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at, to be honest. Maybe Warlock shouldn't be just about stats. Maybe Zoolock should be a permanent thing, basically. You just constantly, like, opening portals, and demons come out of those portals. You know, the demons are ugly. They have shitty stats. Some of them are Rager stats. Some of them are, like, 1/5s. And you're trying to, like, balance things out, right? Like, you're trying to buff the creatures' defenses, attack. Like, you're trying to put on keywords on things. So you're summoning a bunch of ugly shit onto the board, and you're trying to make them, like, fight for you. You're trying to make them useful, basically. That would be the Warlock identity, and just, it feels so good to say it out loud, you know, of like, damn, I envision this thing, you know, that you summon bullshit garbage things and then you buff them properly while they stick on the board because they come from a fucking portal. They're cheap. You know, they basically, you like quest completion type of cheap. But instead of getting like actually good stuff, you get pure garbage, pure vomit on the board that can be easily killed, you know, immediately or just ignored. Pure vomit that you have to like put taunt on them, you have to put reborn on them, you have to take care of your fucking demons basically, right? So instead of like doing this, you would be opening portals all the time. There's not a lot of board space anyways. The moment you open 2 portals is basically enough. Stop, you know? Stop opening portals already. Even every single location is just going to be a mini portal that closes itself. So everything just thematically kind of works. Yes, there's the discard, there's like burn Warlock, basically you burn all the resources that you have. The hero power doesn't have to fundamentally change at all. Or you can change your hero power to also to turn it into a portal, you know, because you don't have enough space for portals everywhere. Right? You can even put a portal in your opponent's side of the board, for example. I don't have enough space, I have to put on your board. I'm sorry. You know? On your opponent's side of the board, that's right. That's it. Just like, you know, Warrior is now a bomb-oriented thing. I mean, you just, like, summoning portal. What else do you want from me? Like, miniature discover effects? That's kind of cute. This is a very brilliant card, so, like, you follow brilliant cards, and miniature discover effects sound like another little cute identity. Just, like, yes, you can add keywords, you can add, like, synergies with other cards on top of your demons. That sounds fine, right? You don't need big-ass fucking stats all the time. Like, are you kidding me? What is wrong with you? Then it's a lot easier to just nerf cards when you know that big stat is bad, when the card is too good. It's a lot easier to nerf things when you actually care. Anyways, anything else I can think of, though? Yeah, sacrificing your own minions to, like, survive longer, to have the another fatigue sort of strategy as well, through self-sacrifice. Maybe you sacrifice enough minions and you summon something special because shit accumulates. You name it. See, another Warlock identity is that it never runs out of resources. So it has these infinite portals going on. You can keep upgrading them, and eventually the game looks pretty grim from that position, right? When you have achieved, like, maximum level portals and you have a full hand when your opponent is fucking empty, basically. Shaman identity is pretty fucking obvious. It's Evolve Shaman all the way. There's no other type of Shaman I can think of. Just keep evolving things. Now, I would potentially prefer that Beast evolve into a Beast. Alright? And I would prefer that we open up the entire pool of all the beasts in the game. So it's more variety and whatever. Because there should be, like, more access to wild cards in a way, because it's not that crazy, it's not that scary. It shouldn't be scary. Alright, it shouldn't break the game. And the other Shaman identity is spellcrafting, totem crafting, right? Almost every spell would summon a totem. Let's put it this way. Almost every spell summons a totem. And Shaman's hero power would actually destroy all totems. That's right. Shaman has to stop fucking summoning totems from his hero power and realize that everything should summon a totem. Alright? Feral Spirit, one Feral Spirit, and one totem must be summoned. Alright, and totem just does some kind of passive ability. Just like Warlock has passive portals that summon absolute garbage, totems would actually be relatively useful, right? And some of them going to be generic totems, just like dealing damage, healing, whatever. But they keep just slightly different every single time, which is like adds more to the strategy, right? Lightning Storm with a totem. Everything comes with a totem. Every single fucking card will come with a totem now. Alright? You don't even have to describe the totem. You can just call it by the name of, like, Frog Totem. Naga Totem. Whatever it is, right? And Naga Totem would just, like, discount Nagas. You don't have to even, like, discount it this way. Just you summon the totem. And Shaman's hero power would actually destroy totems. Now, obviously, you gain something for destroying totems, but that's what it would do, right? It's like, let's clear these totems, let's recollect them, basically. Maybe you get mana out of destroying your totems, but the way it stands, like, it's fucking garbage right now. And these hero powers are supposed to scale to some extent, right? The best, simplest way to scale hero power is to upgrade it, or to have stuff that they forgot to fucking have, which is basically, they killed the most important thing in the game, which is Inspire. I don't know why. We will have to put Blizzard employees in prison and ask nicely, you know? We will have to ask why? Why are we not inspired? You know, why are we fucking little turds? I think Inspire basically cannot possibly be happening in Hearthstone because we have to worry about shareholders, you know? We are not inspired, we want money. That's not inspired whatsoever. Alright? We don't know. We don't know. They don't talk with us, so we'll have to coerce them into saying things one day. Next, Rogue. You should be enjoying this, because I'm enjoying this so much. Like, this is crazy for me. This is the juiciest thing. Rogue identity is to do everything herself. Alright? All these other cards, fuck those other cards, okay? Alright? Like, all these other cards do nothing. Backstab? Like, everything feels like a spell, right? Like, it just helps kind of, like, clean up the board, and you just stab your opponent in the face. You assassinate them, basically. Your weapon keeps getting stronger and stronger. You get, like, fucking special ninja abilities to continue attacking your opponent no matter what. You just keep stabbing them, basically. So in a way, like, pirates could be, like, really powerful, but they can't go face. You know, they just loot a bunch of, like, opponent minions that happen to be on the board. It's just like, let me take care of those. You can fight your final boss, whatever. Like, pirates stay out of the way of fighting the actual, basically, opponent hero. Pirates would have, like, some kind of fucking stupid keyword that says, like, drunk, basically. Right? Every pirate would be drunk. So if it attacks opponent's hero, it takes damage. You don't want to do that. You don't want to take damage as a pirate, so you stop attacking your opponent's hero. But, like, you get coins for, like, killing your opponent's minions. You get rewards for just killing things. Everything on your opponent's board is just basically loot. Just very interesting loot. Like, you can improve your skills as you go across the game. Like, you playing a roguelike, basically, experience. You're the hero, alright? You're here to stab really bad. You know, you're here to attack, like, 3 times super ultra wind fury with your weapon. You know, stab this person, stab that person, upgrade your dagger, like, break your dagger, equip another dagger, basically fucking keep doing things just with your hero alone. That's what I want, okay? That's technically what Demon Hunter was trying to do at one point in the game, and it stopped doing that. It started doing something really fucking weird. You'll figure that out. So yeah, you can even have like zero cost. It doesn't matter. Because your minions are not the way to win the game anymore. Your win condition is just to be a Giga Chad. Alright? And so every assassinate just makes more sense. Assassinate would just silence, right? And potentially like give you extra attack, for example. Fuck it, right? Now you can't just straight up just upgrade your weapon. That would be crazy. You can improve your durability, you can improve how many times you can attack, but +1 attack on your weapon is the most premium shit you can get, basically, with this class. And loot can be anything, right? Loot can be basically your opponent's class cards, or just anything. Just a bunch of random shit that you happen to be able to replay for, like, cheaper. This is not like when the card replays itself is absolute fucking dog shit. We know that Yogg cards are ugly, and I would actually say that Tez Greymane is the ugliest card because it's actually kind of a nice card, but it plays itself. So you just like, it's like, what does the Tez have inside her? You know, you want to open her up basically and sell her organs. That's how ugly she is. What does she have inside? Like, what? Judging by... Maybe you should judge a person by their appearance, but she's an ugly bitch. She's a fucking ugly bitch, man. If she wasn't ugly, you would play it all the time, alright? But even getting, like, opponents' class cards or anything is just difficult. So what the fuck's the point? People would play it all the time. It's just the ultimate strategy where a lot of things happen because you played card, but man, that fucking sucks, alright? These are fucking weird win conditions. I just fixed your fucking game, Blizzard. Give me millions of monies. Whatever that is. Whatever you gives a fuck about. I need a roof over my head and food in my mouth. Just shut the fuck up. You don't need that shit. I found perfectly happy homeless people in my life. Priest Identity. This is kind of cool. You can steal anything. Whoa, we haven't actually explored this identity whatsoever. There's the Shadow Priest and the Light Priest. The Light Priest just constantly heals its minions. The minions never die. Just unkillable minions. Imagine that. Literally unkillable, because you just heal it. Like, what are you gonna do? You put divine shields on minions, you put HP on minions, they never die. Alright, they're fucking useless, but they never die. So you constantly have stuff on the board. It cannot be cleared, it cannot be fucking destroyed. It's just very, very difficult, right? Like, 3 times more difficult than anyone else can fucking muster, basically. Like, the most unkillable minions. And you just try to fucking figure out some combos with them, right? Basically, we'll literally have nothing. Priest has no win conditions. You have to scramble a fucking win condition out of your fucking ass just because you have minions all the time laying around. All right, put a banana on one of the minions. You can't put death rattles on they never die. But maybe they die twice as many times. I don't know. Maybe you can put poisonous on one of the minions. You know, you just keep trying to upgrade, but there's not a lot to go on with, basically. Maybe you could even have, like, sanctuaries or some crazy locations. Or, like, giant minion win conditions where, like, stats get flipped. Or something bigger happen. Or just, like, even just a tiny buff actually is a big deal for Priest. That would be nice. And maybe all these creatures just happen to have Inspire, where, like, you heal a card, you draw a bunch of cards, right? It's like, you not only have minions on the board, but you constantly drawing cards. It's very like Warlock, but you don't have ways to buff your minions. You know? You just hope that your minions don't die, while you scramble for just little advantages. Now, that's not enough, of course. I understand. That's not enough. But this would replace every single board clear Priest ever had, because why do you need board clears when you just have minions? You can use your fucking minions to clear the board. We were saying that to Blizzard all the fucking time. Just trade with your minions, stop fucking wasting my life. Strange thing happens the moment you put taunt on Priest minions. Basically, Priest becomes unkillable, right? Now it's a toxic pattern of trying to basically drain your opponent's cards, drain your opponent's card advantage, right? In the end, it's a control archetype, right? Priest supposed to be a control archetype. The moment it gets a taunt on a fucking minion, now it's gonna beat you up. Is that one thing they need. You know, that unicorn fucking effect, basically. Or unicorn minion appears as a taunt minion on Priest side of the board. That would be called a unicorn. Because, again, Priest minions are notoriously insane to try and kill, basically. But you might have to eventually. Now, Shadow Priest is fundamentally supposed to be, like, faster, and again, steal your opponent's stats. Steal all the stuff, basically reflect their damage onto them, all this nasty shit. Just slightly faster. That's what Shadow Priest is supposed to do. Just the counterpart to just this holy, unkillable priest. Shadow Priest just happens to be faster. We're close to that identity, by the way. We have seen it many times in a way. But I just said it out loud, and somehow that makes me feel good. That's right. Let's go to the Paladin, the most toxic class in the game. And if you don't think this is the most toxic class in the game, you're right. We have Mage, we have Death Knight, we have Warrior. That shit's crazy. But Paladin is like competitively toxic. It's always top tier. Alright? And you must understand why. Paladin just happens to have premium early game. That's what it is. Just fucking luxury early game. We must look at Paladin as a luxury class. What I would think is like, you can't attack with minions the first like 5 turns. But then Paladin scales out of fucking control, bro. Just fucking explodes with their luxury minions. Just start scaling insanely fast. Not exponentially. I'm scared of the word exponentially because that's even faster than insanely fast. But let's just like a bunch. Paladin just vomits a bunch of crap really fast, and it's like, yeah, we settled. You know, board is mine. Yes, a lot of these creatures just happen to have divine shields, and maybe more than one divine shield. Let's be honest. But they just can't attack. None of the fucking early game cards can attack face until You know, like, they would have the holy keywords. Holy keyword means you can't attack until it's turn 6, then you fucking smash your opponent. You gain Wind Fury. You gain +2/+2 on every single holy creature. Whatever the fuck you establish as the holy, you basically build a religion. That is the paladin's way of work. You build a religion, because the way you build a religion is with a fucking sword. You know, you intimidate other creatures. You fight other creatures first. You don't fucking focus on fighting your opponent hero, because they have a strong religion. If you fight your opponent hero, they will just, you know, get mad. You don't want that shit. You want to build religion, dude. You want to enslave other creatures, basically. You want to create Jesus, you know, and Jesus just happens to be a very famous slave. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, man. And you're all about luxury, art, that sort of stuff. You know, this is a gold class. And the moment you reach that 6 mana, you fucking do shit like this. You know, now the game is on. You know, but your opponent has to see it coming. Has to be prepared for this, like, crazy assault. And potentially assault doesn't last very long as well. You will just, like, it's the final kind of turn. Turn 6, turn 7, like, Paladin's really fast. And it makes no sense, because you establish a religion, why are you fast? But there's going to be a fast Paladin, and there's going to be a slow Paladin, of course. You establish a religion to drain your opponent's hand again, or you establish a religion to blast your opponent into space, which is the main Paladin identity. And sometimes you can accelerate your religion to not be just turn 6, but to be faster but weaker, right? That would be the Tempo Paladin, I imagine. No, Tempo Paladin is the aggro Paladin. Yeah, I'm trying to be creative, but no, it's aggro if you're trying to be active turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, right? And to remove the holy tag, basically, the unholy Paladin, for example, right? You flip all the holy tags, and now your creatures can, in fact, attack. And potentially, because they have holy tag, they're going to be, like, overstatted, crazy minions that you see them build up. Paladin building up their army, basically, is fucking crazy. You know, like, you feel the vibes. This is the best Hearthstone with you, potentially, because you can feel the. I'm not even playing the game, and I'm enjoying it so much, right? It's the vision for Hearthstone. Beautiful. And we don't know how far off we are, because AI technology is definitely gonna boost me quite a bit. While Hearthstone itself will still have to stick around to naggy little children, you know, now that they have power to say, no, we want original art. You must hire original people and blah, blah, blah. You have to work hard, you know? Children are gonna fucking gobble them up. What is the mage identity? Mage is supposed to be deleted from the game. No mage. Okay, fine. Mage is semi-rogue, alright? Mage builds itself, and it happens to, like, already have kind of that identity where you just cast spells. Most of the minions, they just disappear. They don't stick around very long on the board. They just fucking evaporate, melt. They're elementals. They literally melt on the board. And they're not even that strong. What every elemental is supposed to do, though, is to boost your spell abilities, generate spells for you. You keep crafting that perfect spell that's just gonna fucking block your opponent from doing whatever they're doing and just blast their health into 0, right? Mage has to have staffs, by the way. Staffs, like, even we played Diablo, they had staffs. Like, where's the fucking staff for mage? I don't understand. Mage can potentially, like, tutor any card that they want. Like, they have those crazy abilities to manipulate their deck to be the most consistent class. They craft their own elementals, they craft their own spells. Everything in their hand is, like, fleeting. Everything just kind of reduces in value, but potentially costs cheaper as well. Like, the more you cast a specific spell class, you keep learning, basically, as you go. It's also kind of roguish class, but with spells. With spell casting. There's just more to it. Rogue just kind of wants to finish the fucking game, just kind of be done with it. You know, loot the opponent for its cool little cards, and then smash with the dagger. Stab. Some rogues are supposed to, like, assassinate creatures more. Some rogues just kind of go face. We know how it goes. Like, I'm already, just by saying that, I'm inspired to play some kind of weapon rogue that happens to have just nice little board presence. But weapon rogue just sounds pretty strong. Like, it was always strong throughout the game. And the fact that we don't have any of that is insane. That's just insane. What are you talking about? We don't have rogue. I feel like even cycle rogue can play weapons, no? Like, you have the fucking ability to do that. Do we have too many taunts now? Too many unicorn priests? I'm sorry, dude. So is there some kind of, like, super cool thing that I can put cherry on top? For mage in particular? I guess I can say, like, mage can do anything. Anything at once. It can close portals, it can destroy hero powers, it can do anything, basically. Like, if your win condition is too obvious for mage, mage is gonna be like, oh, let me counter this, let me fucking make you cry, okay? Mage is gonna be the bully in the town, will destroy your win condition, and now you have to play the game. Let's go, baby, cherry on top, bitch! That's how you delete mage, by deleting your opponent's win condition with mage. Then we're playing a completely different game, do we? Wow, that's beautiful. Alright, let's go, Hunter. Send this video to the closest Raran, alright, in your family tree. No, Hunter just does beast things. But what is a beast? Why is a beast? Well, it's pretty fucking obvious. Beast grows, right? Every single minion fucking grows on the board. They need food, you know, they need shelter from all these fucking assaults from everyone, especially priests. Alright, they want to steal your puppies, they want to steal your unicorns. You keep growing your minions, but they're fragile, right? Like, they can be easily killed at the same time. So you are the protector. You are the archer, basically. You are the hunter of these assholes who try to kill animals. The opposite of the hunter, technically, but shut the fuck up, okay? Alright, you hunt animals as much as you protect them. Alright, you can summon, like, animals to your opponent. Right, and you hunt them down and you gain some kind of prestige, basically. And a prestige allows you to play, like, expensive cards cheaper. You can be a bounty hunter, where you actually kill animals, or you can be a hunter that protects animals from predators, like Shredder Warlock, bro. Bro, you don't want your animals shredded into pieces, do you? You don't want them to go into, like, factory production type of thing. Mass-produced animals. Get the fuck out of it. That's ugly. Ugly shit. See you against that. And obviously, we need to change the fucking hero power. Okay? I'd say 2 damage doesn't go phase. It goes only enemy minions. That's where the 2 damage goes. And you're constantly upgrading your hero power as well. Right, and how many times you can use your hero power. You're constantly upgrading your, like, archery skills, because you need to defend your fucking creatures. They're so fragile, they're so weak. Some of them are too afraid to even attack, basically, when they don't have enough attack in the first place, when they can't win a battle. So there's a special keyword, basically, I don't know the exact word, let's just call it weakling, or fearful, right, fearful. So, the creature will not attack if it doesn't win the battle. Right? It's fearful. So most of the creatures can't even kill anything. They can just snag, basically, your opponent's hero to come out to the open. But you can't kill your opponent's creatures besides your hero. Your hero has to protect everyone. Alright? You lay down traps to protect your little cubs, little puppies, you know? Juicy stuff. Let's be honest. Alright? And fucking spider hunter, why not? Some exotic creatures you can also grow, basically, as you're protecting them. Absolutely, cool stuff. Like eggs, like you can absolutely, and you can even see like the whole ecosystem come to life of your creatures being protected. They help each other out to grow faster. All this good stuff. They find food. They turn your enemy creatures into food. Fuck yeah, dude. This is some beautiful shit. We're cooking. We're accelerating, bro. But delete these two classes because I don't have enough time to talk about it. Yeah, I will call this the most beautiful Hearthstone video. Alright? Basically, you have to close your eyes and meditate, but you have to tell that to the closest round because we already haven't done that. Alright? Turn on some lo-fi music in the background. So what is Druid supposed to do? Alright? We always saw Druid as another roguelike class that upgrades itself. Alright? To me, Druid is a little bit of like a savage, but he also likes growing trees. Like, he also kind of likes doing the hunter, grower type of thing, but with like nature and elementals. Alright? There's too much beast going on. Yes, it's growing. Yes, it's literally doing the exact same thing as I describe hunter to be doing, but I don't know. The Druid also is supposed to know more like spell stuff and more savage stuff for me. Alright? That's a good swipe right there. You know, like, it almost like has like scary versions of neutral cards. It has a neutral card, it's like, okay, that's cute, but it has a scary version where it's like, bro, like, it has +3 attack on a fucking 1-drop or something. Like, what the fuck is that? So maybe Druid is gonna be like the spooky type of, like Witchwoods type of, cultist. Where, like, obviously these, scary creatures were, like, overstated, oversaturated. Again, like, we already have this shit in the game, alright? And it's, with dark gifts. Alright, so I would say, like, Druids fundamentally has the dark gift aspect on everything, and just creatures continuously getting fucking scarier. Like, the more shit you kill, the more damage you do, just things keep nastier and nastier. But fundamentally, Druid has to finish the game fast, because it also takes damage from its own horrors. Like, it potentially has a resource called Sanity, and you run out of sanity, you start taking damage. Your sanity drops below recommended levels into like radiation levels, and you start losing your hand. Everything just starts fucking destroying itself and gobbling you, and you can't even control your minions anymore. Your minion does not want to attack anymore. Your minion, instead of attacking your opponent's creature, attacks you instead. You know? You start losing your mana crystals. Basically, everything falls apart in the end. You can gain a lot of mana, you can gain a lot of buffs on your creatures, but everything falls apart in the end. And, you have to be the master of balancing all this nasty shit. Of taming the most wildest beast. Because Hunter deals with, like, protecting animals that are established. Druid summons animals that we have never fucking seen before. The most wild creatures from the ground, from far, far away. Fucking worms. Giant bats. Like, you name it. Something scary, ugly, and untamed. But it also has the priest potential to outright steal your opponent's minion. Or mummify, just resurrect it. Or in the end of the day, the control druid would actually drain your opponent's sanity. It wouldn't actually try to drain its own sanity. He's too cool for that shit. You know, your opponent's sanity would be drawn instead. And your opponent wouldn't be able to attack with their minions. Or even, like, play too many cards in one turn. Alright, boom, blocked. Surprise. To me, like, it feels like Druid actually does not have identity. It's just like, well, mana crystals. Do whatever the fuck you want. So in a way, like, that's bullshit. But we kind of see this identity secretly. Secretly, Druid has Avian identity of just like, let's just fly around and find the craziest things on the planet, alright, that exist. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Demon Hunter, baby. Alright. Should it be just like Rogue class and actually upgrade itself? Maybe. But we need a fundamentally different name in general, so let's see what happens. Because there's a lot of, like, this going on. Like, there's a lot of, like, upgrading. And you just, like, your hero has to attack a bunch of times. Like, what is that? Let's do it this way. Alright, a lot of spells just gonna turn you into something. Alright, you uncontrollably attack things. You uncontrollably spit fire. And your minions have to kind of control this demon self that you have. I would call this class somehow possessed, basically. Right? So you uncontrollably doing things. You can even uncontrollably play cards. Right? That happens to be outcast cards, right? You uncontrolled, I have to play it. I have to play it right now. So it automatically just plays things, automatically attacks, automatically just does nonsense. That's boring. That's just bullshit. What the fuck is that? But your hero keeps getting stronger. It's uncontrollable, but keeps getting stronger. And some minions just let it bend it to make correct decisions. Your spells are also uncontrollable. Just, that's gonna be the job of minions to, like, point, create targets, basically. You have to attack this thing, alright? Little spell thing, alright? Your targeting happens with minions, most importantly, right? What is the no minions? Shut the fuck up, what are you doing? Your minions have to constantly heal your hero, just take care of just in every aspect. Even though it's possessed and demonic, it's just out of control. Even have to, like, disappear opponents' minions for a limited amount of time because your hero is just so out of control it might just fucking stab it twice and kill itself. Right? You must, like, remove taunts so your hero does not want to, like, attack taunts directly in the first place. I mean, in this case, like, if you cannot choose what to attack, this card makes sense, right? All of a sudden it has to, like, finish off whatever your hero started killing. And maybe you don't take damage when you do that, right? When you do, in fact, finish off the creature that you started attacking. Alright, next. Now, tempo control, aggro, how does that work, right? Well, some creatures are just so sinister, they don't care. Alright, your opponent, your hero is gonna attack fucking billions amount of times and win the game. But the drawback is that, like, your opponent might just have a big minion early. And you're trapped. There's not much you can do. So you can attempt, like, an aggro strategy, but it's not recommended whatsoever to do aggro with Demon Hunter. Or in this case, Possessed. Or, like, let's say Cursed. I don't know, Cursed, it just is a description, it's not a name for anything, so I don't know, man. See, the identities are fundamentally supposed to be storytelling. It's not supposed to be like, oh, this class has board clears, this class has healing. That's not enough, dude. That's not enough. It has to be fundamentally storytelling where we do get the visuals as well. Like, these classes are supposed to be more famous than League of Legends, I mean, League of Explorers, it's very similar. But League of Explorers, legendaries, like Bran and all that shit, they're famous. Right? At least it's famous. At least is right now in the game. Reno is famous. But I feel like the classes are supposed to be famous. Not these fucking fools who can potentially just break the game outright. Fame actually bends the game as well, and not in your favor sometimes. I mean, Bran already showed up as a warrior legendary? What the fuck is that about? That's weird. When these, like, famous creatures show up in just one class, that's just the weirdest, ugliest thing that ever happens. So anyways, the final frontier, my friends. Alright, Death Knight. And I actually have immediate idea of what I want Death Knight to do. Basically not much. Death Knight doesn't do much. But it uses neutral minions in the maximum way imaginable, right? It has the maximum synergy with some fucking one-drop, basically. Here's another one-drop, and it just has just maximum synergy that you can possibly get. It just mirrors the collection of neutrals, alright? If it has, like, let's say, if neutral set has this card, Death Knight is the best at using that card. So you never have a fucking question. If you see a neutral card that you like, this Death Knight is probably gonna have a way for you to use this particular card and build a deck around it almost. So what does this card need, right? After a minion dies, gain its attack. Death Knight can easily make things die. Okay, that's easy. And the next thing is like, well, this thing kind of like needs stealth, kind of needs to be protected while it's accumulating attack. So maybe instead of printing bullshit like this, you can protect the minion. Because that's what most of the neutral creatures would want to have, is a little bit of protection while they are accumulating power, right? While they're using their effect. Death Knight would also be able to tutor the minion straight into your hand and potentially even label the minions that you want to play as starting hand minions. We don't have this shit. We only have that with quests. But that's what makes the game so interesting. You can build a deck around something, and this is what I want, bro. Like, you didn't get a good quest, didn't you? Death Knight is fundamentally supposed to make any cards playable, any card into its own little quest, basically. Even if it dies, you can turn the bones of the creature into something else. You can make it die 3 more times. Why the fuck not? Right? You literally... Death Knight identity is to mummify a creature so it just lasts the longest amount of time in the game as possible. Right? If it's a cheap creature, you can copy and paste it in your hand a bunch of times, give it different effects. If it's an expensive creature, it's just gonna be cheaper. Maybe less stats are gonna like chip away as it's getting cheaper, but you're literally taking care of that like just one dude, you know, that starts in your hands. And you can select anything. We have to go wild, guys. We have to make a game better, and the possibilities are endless. I mean, the longer I play Hearthstone, the more I see that the possibilities are in fact endless, and what I just said is potentially just 50% of the actual possibilities of how cool it could be, how many things we could see, like visually experience things. This is fucking cool for the future, but we have to fight for it, unfortunately. And the way Death Knight stands right now, it actually, instead of playing the game, it kills your shit and prevents you from doing anything. And just like it has its own basically package of broken cards. It has to have broken cards if it wants to play the game, right? Wrong, this is stupid. Alright, look at what it does actually, you know? It just uses your opponent's minions. That's still the coolest thing. That's a good looking card. What is the ugliest Death Knight card? Because it must be pretty ugly to be a Death Knight card nowadays. I would say this is the ugliest Death Knight. It doesn't even cost mana. Alright, it has lifesteal. It's bullshit. The ugliest card is basically made out of corpses. Alright, it's based out of The most ugliest material ever. But you have to play minions. No, you don't care about your minions. You have to play tokens that just die for this card to do anything. And in the end of the day, it's based on this card, which is also ugly because it's also made just purely out of corpses. Purely corpses. Like, what the fuck is this? They have created a new resource just to lean onto that resource for no reason. There is a resource called fucking neutral cards. Bro, use the neutral cards, let them start in my opening hand, and shut the fuck up. Blizzard, shut the fuck up, for once. Alright? We don't need some fucking rune system. We don't need some kind of corpse system. What the fuck is all of this vomit? Basically. You haven't actually crafted a single good identity. You don't need the fucking appendages, basically, just because you can't do something properly. See you guys next time. Alright? Bad ending, unfortunately. We can only get a good ending on a beautiful video if the beauty actually lasts, but it gets killed immediately. It's Death Knight time, baby. Insert sound where someone gets gutted, basically, because that's what beauty does in the end of the day. Alright? It dies eventually, it withers away. That's what makes it beautiful, you know? You want to see it again. You want to watch this video one more time. Because it should haunt you of how cool the game could actually be. The possibilities are endless. See you guys next time.